Right, hello. I would say everyone, but anybody who comes and watches this stream, um, I do apologize if you have got a notification and you're one of my 67 subscribers. I don't really make videos that often, but yeah, I decided to mess around with the stream. Um, so it's a bit of a crazy thing I want to try today, and I've got my chat GPT ready. Um, and it's a good time for me to pick up Godot 4.5, I believe. Like, I am literally getting started from the very beginning here. It's going to be an MMO, because why not? Let's start with like the hardest thing. Um, Let me just get this set up though. Put this into my Godot folder. MMO client, like it literally does not have a name. I have done I would say an MMO experiment before on Godot 3 point something, and that was a very long time ago. And the networking stuff in Godot has changed since then. So I'm going to be learning all this from scratch. I'm going to be learning 4.x anyway, so the bar's pretty high. Anyway, render. So what I'm going to be targeting, I want web, because I'm going to be doing this in HTML5 or whatever I can. So compatibility for now. The only preparation I've done for this is I have read up on networking just to refresh myself on the topic. So what I want to do is I'm going to have a separate server and a client. It's not going to be peer-to-peer. So we'll do the client in Godot. And then on the other side, the idea is to do the server in a node. And we'll be setting up a WebSocket for doing the networking in. I came to that conclusion because well, I want it to be playable on the web, so WebSockets. And I don't really know much about low-level networking anyway. And I just want to keep things a little bit simpler for myself. Though it was interesting because I was reading up on like a replacement for, well, not a replacement for WebSockets, but you can go down like two pathways with this. And with a WebSocket, you're using TCP, which is slower. Now most MMOs go over UDP, which is unreliable, but they build like their own layer to make it reliable, or they just pick and choose which features they need from TCP and just create a lighter version of it, basically. But there is WebRTC as well, which I think is a bit too complicated for me right now. And then to replace both of those, well, not to replace, but there's Web Transport, which I believe is going through like a drafting phase. I don't know the technicals of it too much, but it's made to be a bit more to access the UDP layer, but simultaneously with the TCP layer as well. So you got like RTC and WebSockets in one. But enough of that anyway. I'm going to get something set up here. So, can I just like plan things out a little bit? So, I just realized I haven't got my chat open. Let's do live chat. Live chat is on, so if anybody says anything in the YouTube chat, it will come through. Whether or not I'm paying attention is a different matter. Okay, so just, oh, yeah, let's do client in big, fat, chunky text and server over here. Can I do rectangles? Yes. So what I'm gonna begin with is the server and getting just like a square moving around between like two clients. I think that'd be a good starting point. So, I mean, there's not much to expand on the client right now, but the first point of call is to like, you need to authorize with the server. For sandboxing, I'm going to skip this step and come back to this another time. If this goes on that far anyway. And then for maintaining the state of the players and every other entity and whatnot, you use an in-memory database, so you use Redis for that. And then after so long, that will need persisting into a database. So I don't know, database, file database. It's kind of like the stack all the technologies I'm going to use for the storage. And then we need the WebSocket here as well. Gosh, I wish the text would stand out. WebSocket. Probably one word in it. There we go. So ideally, we'll hit the authorization bit, which is your username, password, or registration, whatever. And I think I'll handle like an OAuth 2 application where you get a token, a refresh token. I'm not exactly sure on the specifics right now, but we'll pass that token anyway to the Redis side, so then the WebSocket can query it and just make sure we can keep the connection alive. Then if that goes invalid, we can just like disconnect the client. Then like position like just regular like frequently accessed data will give you Redis, and then when we want to shut down for the day or reboot the server or just maintaining backups, like every like 10 minutes maybe, like make a copy of what we have in Redis into the file database. Although I know Redis can persist on disk now, so that's something to explore as well. But it's kind of like where I'm thinking, roughly. And the WebSocket there and the authorization here. Stack that up. So it's got a project set up on the server. We've already done the basics. Well, how do we? This is my first GPT question of the day. How do we set up a new node project these days? We set up a node project these days. In 2025 is easier than ever. NPM init, why? Okay. Where's my terminal? There we go. And npm init. That's fine. Oh, there we go. I do prefer the modular approach though. So I'd set it up for modules so I don't have to do it myself. Type module. But what changes do I need to make in my package file though? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So where's type common? Module. Just create a source directory. And let's JS for now. Let's create that script to run it. What's it suggesting over here? Start. I'll go with start. Node. So server.js. Already got an error. Here we go. And then start. Okay, let's just go on. Give this a shot. Console.log 123. Yeah. Got 123. Onto something. Right. I'm gonna need a WebSocket client like package as well. think the last one I used was like micro WebSocket, like the U WebSocket. Just see if this is still relevant. Oh, it scared me then when I saw C and C++. But I had the wrong one. I'm not sure this is the one I used or that I'm familiar with. Node WebSocket libraries. Of course, Ably is going to be suggesting themselves here. And they actually haven't done that, have they? Thought they would have had their own library. Unless they called it not something without Ably in it. Anyway, this is the one I wanted. No, it's not. That's the same thing I was on. WS. I'm hoping I'm gonna recognize it when I see it. It's been a few years since I've done this stuff before. Now this does look familiar. Let me just read a bit more. This does not work in the, oh yeah, server side anyway. Yeah, simply use blazing fast WebSocket client and server. Right. Let's grab that. And then please use the module syntax in the examples. Yes, they have. Not function. Start server. We'll just start server down here. We need to create. This is a client, right? So what's for a server? WebSocket server. Don't need WebSocket. What 8080 is fine for now, I believe. Right. So if I run this, it should hang. And we'll see nothing. Yeah, there we go. So that means it's running. And we haven't got any clients to give us any feedback right now. So hopping over to the Godot side, just clear this down a little bit. Godot WebSockets. Should also get to set up like a little player for us testing. Plus our testing. I like to break things up into folders, so create a scene folder. Let's get this set up with the current one. There we go. And our entities. Create one for player. And I want a texture. What's the texture in Sprite? That's what I was looking for. Sprite 2D. Good old Godot icon. Put you in there. And let's attach a script. Player. Go back to our test scene and let's put our player into the scene. There we go. It'll be, let's set up a quick movement script as well. So I'm gonna have to change you out to kinematic. Nope, not kinematic. Character body. What are you worried about? Collision. Collisions are gonna be a whole different topic. I don't know how I'm gonna handle them right now. With the server basically having no idea what a collision is, right? Because it's not even using Godot. Right, add a collision shape. I'm not using it, but I just need to set it up because it'll mess with me if I don't. Have I got collisions as well? Showing, how do I turn them off? How do I turn collisions off? I mean, just visually, I don't want to see them. Like that. Easy mode. So that's happy. And project settings, input map. Oh, no, I want to add. Wrong box. Down, left, right. And then do WASD for me. Okay, we'll get a script set up. Whilst I remember, it's character 2D, character body 2D. Move and slide. What's that accept? Just nothing, I just need to set the velocity then. Figure that out in MMO. I'll put velocity into a class variable. Or not. To 2.0. Just shorten that actually. Right, why are you not? Oh, it's redefined. Right, I don't need to define it again. Okay, makes things easier. So I'm going to do velocity then. Let's do a movement vector for now. Vector 2 for that. And it'll be input get strength. Not sure if I want raw strength. Raw strength. With strength for now. You're right. Butterfly, are these the right way around? That's the horizontal movement. I haven't even gone over that, the kind of like game I'm making yet. I've got an idea, but I just want to get a bit further before I start going over that. Nope, can't move yet. I haven't done anything with it. Just normalize that while we're here as well. Velocity was movement. I actually don't know. I'm unsure about this part because it's not doing anything. That's a good start. Need speed. Give you speed. $9 maybe. Might have to look the documentation up in a sec. Right, response speed equals 10. See anything? No. Impulse enabled. So what am I missing then? Let's just check what the movement is. Yeah, that's doing what I want. I do both. Yeah, you get 0.7, so that's normalized. So just thinking a sec here. So why is it not moving then? Like, I would at least expect it to be in the wrong direction, just not move at all. You know what? This might be really stupid, but how'd you tell if you're moving? You actually can't. There's no background to like give you a perspective on this. Silly me. I am actually moving. Let's throw a few icons in here. Well, still, did I put them in the right place? Apparently I have. Anyway, let's just put the camera in there. Great. So really, why am I not moving now? Delta even matter? Does movement slide factor in Delta? Look, I've got something here. I'm moving like very, very marginally. And my left and right are wrong. Yeah, good spell, right. No, it wasn't. It was up and down, that's wrong. Right. Down and up. Increase speed. Oh, look, movement. I almost did it from memory. Okay, why are you yellow? So why are you yellow? It's never used. But is delta needed for moving slide? What about velocity? In pixels per second. Does that mean it factors in delta or not? I'm confused. I'll still move either way, but I'm just not sure if I need delta. Um, surprised the documentation doesn't mention it. Is there anything on delta? So move and collide expects a delta. There we go. Right, automatic includes the time set in its calculations, so you should not multiply the velocity factor by delta. So I knew I wasn't hallucinating. I'm just surprised it doesn't mention that in the documentation. I had to go digging for that. Right. So we have movement with I don't need dollar. Can I tell it to ignore it? The warning is really annoying me now. Let it be then. So, WebSockets. Let's go and figure that bit out next. I'm not sure how I'm going to play this. If we're going to have a global script or scene script on here, or if I create a separate manager. Separate manager. Plus, client manager. And just put you in globals for now, or managers. Let's go back. No. There we go. So that's here, yeah. Not the least, I'm gonna have to create a WebSocket resource, maybe. Okay, it's not a node. No, but I will take this example as my starting point. Feels wrong to copy and paste it, but in the name of progress, we're gonna do this. This will be 8080. Oh, did I just copy the server one? Yes, whoops. I need a client. This will be my local. Is there a port on there? And 8080. So that should be enough, I think. I'll just plop that in there. Let's see if that fails. Great, that failed because I'm not running the server. Let's do that again. Oh, did it die? Got nothing in here. Console error. It should have logged an error, so server didn't see anything. What port? 8080. Ah, I've gone via encrypted connection. I didn't want that. I'm not hosting this securely. Woohoo! We've got a packet sending. And if I close that now, we should see a disconnect. Maybe, because I'm not listening for a disconnect. Nope. Right, let's see what events we've got. So connection, message, anything else? Error, got error. Right, there's no timeout event. What's close? So if the client doesn't send a disconnect, I assume we've got to listen for a heartbeat, and that's the bit we do manually. But if they do gracefully disconnect, we'll get a close event. from the client. Oh no, that's client specific. I'm not sure now. I guess there's one way to test it. Let's just do unclose. Client disconnected. Fire you up. So we've connected. Client disconnect. Okay, we've got a close event. Good. So let me just clean a few of these things up. So we'll have on close. And can I pass a client through there? Let's see if we've got access to the same information. CNS. And that'll be our request. Pass that through to close. Oh. I've got to kill you off. Okay, don't have the same information then. Do they have official documentation? I just realized I've been ignoring chat, by the way. I am sorry. Just having a mental breakdown earlier over Delta. And I've only just seen the comment. Sorry. See the docs. That's what I'm after. Okay. Not what I expected the docs to be, but I've got documentation. So event close. So we got the WebSocket and the request, right? So the reason why that failed is because the first one is the WebSocket and the second one is the request. And to confirm that, head back over, kill you, and maybe not. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm just gonna mess around with my windows there a sec. Just get a bit annoying flipping between the two. Right, I'm not even running the server. Server, quotation marks. Undefined. Not sure why it's undefined. Is there like a model I can find for this? I don't really need the IP address. I was just kind of playing around. But the main thing is I've got an unclose and I've got a WebSocket, and I think there should be an ID on there as well. So we'll be able to pass that around and know who we're disconnecting. So we'll just say client disconnected. I do want to give them like a reference though. Let's have a look. The server client's coming from. That's interesting then. So when I did this, I got undefined. But I did that from the onClose handler. But the onClose handler has the same parameters as the connection. So I should be getting the same information. So if I follow their example here, where we get the IP address, I should see the IP address on connection and not undefined. And it crashed. If I got, let me go back to that request. This is the second one. Beginning that test. So I've got an IP address now. Oh, hold on. Is it because the client's disconnected? So when you're trying to get the IP address, there is no IP address? Is it just that simple? Oh, accidental breakpoint. Yeah, that was it. There's no socket, is there? So that makes sense. I'm learning here. So got on close. Let's not sure if I want to go down the classes route with this. I'll just go with let's create layer even ID so we'll go class player ID will be null. Why have an error? Oh, okay. Yeah, my language is mixed up. How do you do a constructor in JS? Constructor? Like that? And cell ID? I'm improvising here. I'll find out if this works in a minute. Get ID. So self ID. Again, don't know my language. So when we got a connection, we'll create a new pair. And we want an ID 1 to do. Let's keep that in an array for now. So new player, players.push. I might change this for an object later though, and then key it by the player's ID. Then when they're disconnected, I can just pop that ID off. But first, I need to get the ID. How do I get an ID from a client? Yeah, client. Or do I have to generate that myself? We do have a reference for other clients within the WebSocket package. Not ready to do that just yet though. What's a WebSocket stream? I kind of want the TLDR. Okay. I'm not 100% sure. I just thought it was related to web transport because you have streams in there as well. And one of them's kind of the RTC implementation and one's a WebSocket implementation. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna have to generate the ID myself, aren't I? Anywho, let's put the connection in here as well. So we've got a reference back to the WebSocket. And then let's create an ID. I'll use a GUID. Copy and paste doesn't really work well on this. I can create that internally as well. Right, and on join, we can then say info. Let's join. Say player.id. I did intend player. I'm going back to that now. Player. This variable I don't know what I'm doing with right now, but I'm gonna put player in there. Player.id. ID. Oh, plus. See if we get what we need. No, got an error. It's not what I need. Self.id. Okay, self. Why am I even using self anyway? This. I don't even need this there. Look at that. Right. Fire away. We still got an error. Self is not defined. Where have I? No comment. Player has joined null. Okay, we have null. Hello, null. I did need this. Oh, I didn't, and I did. Because now I've removed it from there. I'll keep this anyway to keep it in line with that. There we go. Player has joined. There's your good. There's your ID. Let player, new player. Don't really need your IP address. Although we can build like an ID string. So get apply reference. And this will be the ID. This.id. And we'll put your IP in there as well. Oh, hold on. I don't have the request coming through. I don't know if we can get it from the WebSocket. I'll put it in here for now. Although I don't really want it in there in the long run. So that'll be this ID. And then this IP. And I can shorten this with it not being local to that function. Same with you. What's the error? IP is not defined. It should be defined. Maybe I did need this. Right, there we go. Got our IP on our GUID, and that's our reference for that player. The unclose is erroring though. Where's that unclose again? Close and close. So now I can pass my own info to this and Asking the player who disconnected. Has disconnected. I just realised I had a cup of tea on my desk and it's gone. I didn't even know I drunk it. So I've got the unjoin. Pushing that onto our stack. That up there. Gonna handle the errors later. Messages. When I'm thinking, I just do some pointless stuff like formatting code, removing blank spaces. What other events do I need to hook up? Oh, I haven't actually finished this off yet. See the player there. In fact, what if I just encapsulate it in here? So let's say on player disconnect. Disconnect. Not on disconnect. Now I've got best of both worlds. I've got the WebSocket request. So I don't really need the WebSocket. I've already stood it on there. So play on disconnect. What other events then? Unclose, that's what I've got there. Okay, before I carry on, I'm just going to check that it still runs. Where's my disconnection message? What's mine? Players joined and disconnected. Keep that for now. I need to remove the player from the players array, but not sure if I'm going to use it because we can go through the client connections. Either way, there's a connections array to go through. Only downside is it won't be a reference to the player class that I've got. It's the players. So yeah, staying around for now. And this is where we'll handle all the messages that come back. What about the game, like the server loop? How do we set that up? Like this doesn't really go on the implementation part of it, just like how you work with the package. And for now, I'm going to distract myself from that problem and get the player to pass its position in. So another class for vector. We'll just zero that by default. And keep doing it. Usually when I start up a new npm project, node project, I go with TypeScript, but I don't really know like TypeScript too well, so I'll just do like the basic stuff of like assigning stuff and creating classes, which I'm going to be doing in JavaScript anyway. So create the player position. Let's get the position passed in. So on message, let's see how we can handle messages then. Godot examples now. Just giving this a think now. So what I'm aiming to set up next is getting the player to send its position to the server. So I'm going to have to go through the client manager, get the socket. Where does it send a packet though? Socket send text. And what is a socket? A WebSocket peer. What else is available on here? Alright, so that's good. I can send a JSON body. How do you create global managers in Godot now? That used to be in globals. Can I still do this? If I add the client manager. add you. And I think I can remove you from the scene as well. Yeah, that still works. So then with the player, let's do a... Can I reference it like that? Client, yeah, I can. I will send. And I'm going to need to put this into JSON as well. How do we do JSON data in Godot? Where's my help thing gone? Yeah, help. JSON. Tell me how to use JSON. Yeah, there we go. JSON.stringify. 101. Position x subposition.y. Oh. Hold on. Just making sure that I am creating a struct here. Or passing the player position x position.y. Not declared. Transform. Is that it? Come on, update quicker. So it's transform x. Apparently not. Can't even remember the basics anymore. What is wrong with me? Why is it suggesting it then? If position is a vector too. Is it? The way that I'm structuring this here. X not declared. It's not doing a JavaScript thing on me now, is it? Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's the error that I expected. Right, send that XY. Now I need to implement the send function. Oh, I'll do that. Oh, what if I do the JSON handling on this side? I mean, it just saves like that, so it's not really much of a time saver. But I think it's handy. I'm doing it in the wrong file. No, I'm not. There I am. Right. Pass you. Go over here. Okay. Now we can do the stringify message. And I need the socket. That's a full screen so I can see the whole thing. Oh no, I've overwritten the oh, I haven't. Let my just and JSON. Get rid of you. Alright. I'm gonna get this every tick now. There we go. Look at that, we got a position. Let's bump that up a little bit. Now the one thing I've been pointing off I really need to solve. That's not a secure WebSocket either. No, WebSocket's never mind. That's redundant. What's in the debugger? So I should check the state is open. There we go. That's handled the error. Really have no clue what I want to look at next. Don't go into an MMO without a plan. Sound advice. Although is it an MMO without players? Could have a look at adding another player. Which means I need to solve how I'm going to send messages back to clients. Is this side even handling a client, a message coming back from server? It is. Got text date from server something. Surely I just don't loop through a connection though and handle all the logic in one place. That just sounds really inefficient. Just testing something here. Yeah. So we are getting stuck in the connection bit. Oh, wait. So if I do an interval, this is going to be the worst like fixed rate loop ever, but let's do an interval. It's null at the moment. And start interval. Didn't even need that variable, but oh yes, I will. Because if I need to terminate it. I'll say 1000. Also, that's wrong. Set interval. Right, this is our server loop. So in theory, I could go through. Let's just see how I can get all the clients. I mean, I could go through players, but this will error the moment somebody disconnects. Kill the server. So players for each, and I'm gonna put send JSON for here as well. WebSocket.send. So we've got the servlet on here. .send stringify message. I'll send stock. Send JSON is not defined because I've been a pillock and I don't have the player. Still, it's not defined. Because I've just, instead of fixing the problem, I just literally refactored the loop. Right, this .send is not function. Yeah, that's meant to be this WebSocket send. There we go, we got the talk. But we're missing the tick. So that's all right there, we don't want it for every player. Well, there's no reason to do this, it's just like, I really want to do it. There we go, tick, tock, tick, tock. It's worth it. I didn't even send JSON. Oh yeah, I did. Stringify talk. How do we detect something is JSON known? Godot. Back to the docs. Let's just check we don't have an error when we parse it. Is there something more efficient though? This is like, if you have like a huge JSON string, you've got to parse it to know that it's valid or not valid. I mean, it works, just this looks a little bit cleaner. So I don't have to handle the error. Where do I receive the package? Yep, server's not running. I'm really gonna have to put a watcher on that. Yeah, we've got JSON data now, we're passing that. Also have to figure out which is the object that's receiving that packet as well. It's like, is it the player? Is it always going to be the player? Just really depends what we're sending and expecting back. A disconnect, the client manager can sort that. The player, again, like a new player, again, the client manager. Unless we want to synchronize a player we've added. Yeah, I think everything should go through. It'll be fine. Let's try adding another player anyway. So I reuse the player that I've got. And I'm going to have to toggle the player behavior. How do you export in 4x? So add export. Where's my add? There we go. Oh, it goes in front of it. Is that right? Without oh, it needs to type. Boolean. Boolean, bool. So if player, you do your player stuff. And then I can literally cheat and go to the test scene, player, and enable use the player. And the client manager is going to have to instantiate a player too, so since I've done it as global, I can't like drag it in, can I? It's not ready. Resource. No, I don't want it on ready. So I'm going to be loading you on demand. Where's my layer scene? I have to lock this up as well. How to instantiate an object or a resource. Instantiate. Where'd it go? Do that again. It just took me somewhere completely different. Anyway, I don't know how to do this on Godot 4, so Godot 4 instantiate resource. Well, what's the code for it? So we load it, that's fine. But you have to like call instantiate. So by using preload, Godot knows about it before you access it. Yeah, that's the way I'm used to doing it. So that should be fine. So preload the player resource in. Let's keep this process function as slim as we can keep it, and I'll handle event. That's not JSON. I need a reminder on dictionaries. Will I get an error if that key does not exist? That seems to handle it anyway. So if I do JSON.get and say type, ready, player joined, rename that to event. Alright, JSON, I need to repeat that. So got a new player. Then I need to call back to the test scene. Might need a reminder on how I'm going to access the root scene. I can think of a hacky way of doing it. I don't like it though. What if I just say current scene? And none. Wait. Don't tell me it's literally current scene. Well, there you go. Don't need the hack. Current scene, but a child? Yeah, get true. Dot current scene. Then we'll add the player in. Can we pass in properties on instantiate? Not sure, but do it this way. Do I need to set the position? Why not? What's expected now? Because I'm using a dictionary. Don't need to. Don't even need new. This is what hopping between languages does to you. Didn't even read the error. Get in base string. Hey. I thought it was supposed to parse it and it gives you a variant. Oh, no, I've got it wrong. It's parse string is fine. It's JSON.get. And then you pass in your dictionary, right? Is that the way to use it? Oh, never mind. Why is it creating a node? Is there a better way to check a dictionary has a key before you access it? Although it's a variant, not a dictionary. Does in work on a variant now? I mean, it can be used for dictionaries, arrays, parsers, etc. So technically, that means it should, right? So we can do if JSON.in event. Let's type in it as well. The most important data type in Godot. Well, tell me how to use it as a dictionary then. Base string. I would expect it that typing. What's the issue here? Hold on, hold on. I don't think it's that. So parse JSON failed. That's fine. Because it's doing it on something. And something is being sent as raw text down here. So it's not even getting, it's not getting converted to JSON at all. What's the trace, the log say? JSON talk. Could it be that I'm just being daft? I'm literally putting the JSON string as a string. So message is right, but what I need to send back is an actual object. Goodbye, Tom. The time is nigh. Get rid of you. Do game DP stuff. Let's do a new function for onJoin. And I'm going to loop through the players. Let's Phantom. Get joined. Just FYI, it is 11:15 here, so I'll be going on for about 15 more minutes. I do want to just end on being able to add player and hopefully get them syncing between one another with their position. And that'll just be a nice part to point to break on. So anywho, event player joined. And I will pass more data down there in the future. I don't often need the ID right now. In fact, let's add it anyway. ID. So we know, like, we've got an ID to reference in the client. Got player joined, new player, instantiate, and just set it to 100, 100. So we get that. I'm just going to be cheap here. Player.employee. So cheap in the sense that I'm not going to push it to players until I've done the unjoin event, so that I don't actually have to handle like looking for IDs and excluding the player I'm raising the event for. And will that be okay? It'd be good if I could send. Oh, I've done self again. Stop writing self. Bad habit. How am I going to open like multiple windows in Godot? I'm going to have to convert it to a binary. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm going to have to do that. Yeah, first time exporting a project. So where's build tools? Build templates. Do we still need build templates? Export template rather. Manage export templates, download and install. Should just take a second. Right. Let me try that one again. I'll just plop it in a MMO. Fine. And just in case it creates any other files, builds. Oh, I don't want a zip file. Okay. Maybe that's okay then. Did that export? How do I run it? Oh, simpler than I thought. Right, so we got one player. Now will this create another player? I have no clue. Let's put a bit of logging in there. And I need to synchronize the players as well. So each player is going to have to synchronize with the other player. How are we going to do that? I'm not even storing the position yet. We have to do the same thing here as well and marry the events up. Am I sending the... I am sending the position. But we're not really doing anything with it right now. Okay. I'm just gonna dump that. I'm not actually sure if we have to decode it. Yeah, we do. How is it decoded before? I'm gonna have to look at the example. On message, receive data. Is this formatting it? Yes, it is. Can I do this via sprintf? Does JavaScript even have a sprintf? No, it doesn't have a built-in one. What's the equivalent then? Oh gosh, so many pop-ups. Well, yeah, that's what I want to do, but not a console log. You know what? Does this library like have like a helper for this? What's the format of the data? Is it in binary? I mean, I can't do data dot event. What am I actually sending back? It's just an X and Y. Right. How do I access the buffer? Okay, first SOS of the night. GPT it. Just think WebSocket is going to be too vague for GPT to pick that up. Using blah message data to JSON. Seriously, just convert it to a string. That's really all I was looking for. So data to string, I should have a JSON string on the back of that. European. Yes, thank you. Does JSON.parse throw an error? Exception. Yes. Be even funnier if I don't actually have to do toString. No, I don't. Love it when something's clear. Alright, so I got JSON. Let's do if I'm gonna need to put the entity ID in there. So client manager, player. So I am gonna need an ID. Oh, now I'm gonna need an event to go back to set the ID when a player joins. Ping pong at every point. Message, send that. The ID will come from the player. Line ID. No. I think I can get away with it for the current player for now. Since I just want to listen to players created on the second client and see them move in the first one. So if I send you, I've got the client ID in there. That is, I'll need to be careful not to send it back to the same player who sent it. I'm not sure if I'm going to need the ID for that. But anywho, when we've got a player joined event, so new player bar client ID. In. Oh, my keyboard sometimes repeats itself. So let's say the client ID. I should chain together Godot. Will that work? I should really take that something out. We're past that point now. Ah, stop repeating. Willie ID. If I fire up the second one. Okay, we've got an error. In dictionary. Why have I got a dictionary now? Why didn't that error then? I mean, why did it error here? Or did it error there? 71, it did error there. So go back to dictionary. Or whatever. Dictionary. Review the basics. Use object.get. So this is a thing you can do on any node. So it's not a thing restricted to variant. This threw an error before though. But it could have been unrelated because I was sending back a non-JSON payload. I'm gonna have to re-export it as well to make sure we have the client doing the same thing. The second one. This means we got further. There's an error in here now. Oh wait, no. You play Oh, you can't override it. So I'm assuming that will work. This seems a bit of a roundabout way. Ah, I misspelt it. Global position. Position. Just restart this in case and do that again. Nope, don't want terminal. Oh, our child is throwing an error now. And base node 2D. Our child. Kill server. Start you. There we go. We've got somebody over there. I've got client join null. So we're up to the point of creating a player. If I spend a few more minutes, can I get the position synced up? I'm going to need to store a dictionary of player IDs. Let's revise dictionaries again. Create an empty one. How do I add? Just access it. And then what if I want to get rid of a value or a key? I'm not important right now. There'll be a way. So players. Create a little alpha, register the player, there's your ID, players, ID, equals player. Ah, cheers. That's just a note for later then. Is I? Oh my god. I do not know if that's a keyboard thing. I need a new keyboard though, but it's only happened when I've been on Linux. Although I say that, this keyboard, I've only had it when I've had Linux. So maybe not. I had a Corsair before, now I've got a Razer, and this is like my backup keyboard. And just a little bit of advice, do not take a really clacky keyboard into an office when you work with other people. It really annoys people. So I just basically sat in my drawer for a very long time until I needed a backup keyboard. So anyway, register player, pull out a dictionary with ID, player. Does onReady call before or after setting the parameters? Do I even want to do it from there and not in here? Okay, so register player, new player, and their ID is going to be new player, client ID. But there's also another problem. Client join is null, so that hasn't been sent from here. So unjoin this ID. Why is ID null? I mean, it's literally set here. So we do have an ID. And they're being sent that payload. Unexpected token, where are you? Here we go. And fire up another one. ID's been sent over. So why is ID null? Is it oh, it's ID. Let's... I'll go with ID. From the server perspective, ID is just ID, there's no client ID until it comes over here. So I've got the client ID for the player. And from there, I'll be able to reference that player from the dictionary and then resync the position. So that means every time that player sends over a payload with their position in there, that needs to go out. Or what'll be a bit more efficient is if I just send those out for everybody in the loop. So first point of call is going into our player, got the client ID in there. Now is that being picked up over here? Hold on, that's going to be null. So I don't know which player. Oh no, that's a lie because it'll be in here. So let's do player position. Vector 2. Say JSON.x and JSON.y. Also, I need an event in there. Call this one player position. So if JSON.event was player position, we update the player's position. Then, for each player, we want to do 2 loops. One to go through each player, and then secondly, to send each player the other player's position. Player. Just thinking this out. It'd be a little bit more efficient to send it all in one go. That means I'm going to have to do the loop on the client. Let's just do the loop here. Plenty of time to refactor this up. So I'm going to send that to... say this is the receiving... oh no, just say current... let's see. So send over an event for player decision. So this is going right back. X will be sync player X by sync player.y. Then on the client, so if we get player position event, and then I'm not sending the ID back. I need the ID too. .id. And we're sending that to the current player. Let's rename this to be 2sync player. Getting ID. Is like that. Assuming that in is looking up the keys for the ID. I don't know, I'm just improvising. I think it'll work. Then I can do that. Do ID. Just call this player. And let's just copy and paste that. Oh gosh, I have no idea how this is going to go. Well, it's not erroring. It's killing you off. Export. Well, Nothing's moving, but we're definitely doubling up our events here. So why didn't we get the position for the player? The current player. Then we're going through the loop again. Send each player to each player. Got chase with observer event, player position. There's no X and Y in there. Godot cut that off? Or is there literally just no X and Y? ID event. Ah, I think I have that wrong. Because it's position. Create a property on for that. I don't think I need to re-export that. Just run it again. Oh, come on. 0, on XY now, though. That means I'm not updating the position on here. Why is that? So I've got an X and Y until I close, and yeah. Event, player position, player position. Okay, player position. What filtering, so we're not sending to the same player twice. Interesting that it breaks up onto multiple lines when both of these X and Y become floats. So I'm updating you, don't need that. Let's put the payload in here. I can move you out. Or you payload. I'll just payload. Players joined. Fire up another one. 0-0. Why is that? Oh, I think I got it. What if it's... I mean, we're passing objects by reference, so I don't understand why this would be reset. But let's just make it an object and we won't replace it with the new vector 2. Yeah, that was it. But I'm still not getting anything updating over here. But that is something. So ID 45. What have I got over here? Kill that before I lose my log. So 7 from 45 to 8F. So you're only receiving 45s. Ah, which one's client 1 and 2? I should number these. I might even add the player to the ID. It might be this that's the issue then. Uh, 3A. There you are. And I've got this data for you. So in theory, you should be able to be updated. Update position. It's just the last thing I need to finish off. Then I can go to bed. So it's not updated. It's failing. Probably on this check here. I could just do this and it'll probably error. No, as long as I don't send... I'm not repeating the player that I'm syncing to now. So maybe it won't. Ah! That's probably the issue anyway. Let's fire her up. Something happened. Something happened. Oh! Yes, we're updating the position, but I've got 2 cameras. And I need to disable one if it's not the player. So every time a player is created, there's another camera 2D, and it's finding between which player to show. So script, and then let's create a ref for the camera. Unready bar camera equals 2D. Then if is player if onReady is onReady a thing? Apparently not. Then what's the onReady call? Ready? That probably was onReady then. What was it then? No. What's the onReady call? Am I doing this right? OnReady? Ready? Ready, there we go. Right, 1, 2, 3. Great. So now, if is player, don't need the brackets over here. If is player camera dot active, I need to check what the property is for this one. Enabled. If not is player, take that off. Let's re-export this. This could be it. Where every problem is solved. Yeah. The only thing that could be better is the tick rate on the server, but for 1 second it's working. Let's go down to 100 millis. Right. Don't need to rebuild. Oh yeah, there's a collision object on both of them. That's funny. So in a weird way, managed to sync up 2 positions just by forcing the player to be moved. Although now I'm stuck. Anywho, that is a very duct taped together the WebSocket server and client. I might continue doing this more. It was pretty fun. Though an MMO with any game with network functionality is probably not the best first thing to do to get back into Godot. But it's been fun and I'm figuring out. And if I continue this, I'm gonna have a bit more of a think on that, like where I want to go with it. I have a rough idea for doing a platform online game. Because I don't think there's enough platformers out there. But, well, got a while to go with the server code yet. There's a lot to do here. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there anyway, so if you stuck with me to the end, thanks for watching. And I will be doing another stream at some point, I just don't know when. Could be tomorrow, could be next week. Could be never, though, to be fair. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you maybe or whenever.